Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate your time and effort to reach out and see what another Urantia book reader is talking about, see what this person might be going through, and what it's like to be a Urantia book reader. Now, I have 19 years of reading the Urantia book, and my 19 years does not mean that I may be better than you or I'm more educated. Yes, I have learned more. I have more experience. I have felt, smelled, seen some things more than I have in my 20s. I'm in my late 30s. I've experienced more things, emotions, relationships, it's just all kinds of situations. But I'm not really there yet. Not, I really am looking forward to my 40s when I have just enough knowledge and wisdom to deal with situations a little bit better next time. Because right now I'm okay, but these last few months I was a ticking fucking time bomb. Now, 19 years of UB reading does not automatically connote that I read the UB every day, because I really don't. There are days, a lot of times, the majority of the times, um, I feel like the Bible, not the Bible. I'm sorry, I do call it the Bible from now on. It's my Bible towards other people, but I feel like the UB are necessary. It's necessary when I get this urge or this sense or the desire to know something, to read up on something. And I feel like out of all the books that I've ever come across, which is not a lot, I stopped looking into New Age and everything that's outside of the UB, everything outside of the Bible. I stopped looking. Like, once I made a clear decision to just stick with the Urantia book. So, um, I don't know where I was going with that. I lose train of thought. So, going back to like not reading it every day. So, like, when I do read it, it has so much information that I could only do one paper at a time, meaning like just the last week or so, I've only been focused on angels, the Seconophims, the Seraphims, the angelic influences that dictates or drives us every day, the stuff that we do from time to time. And it's like, wow, it's mind-blowing, because this entire time, and truth be told, I was never really into angels like that. What really killed it for me back then was a lot of people were loosely using angelic terminologies, they would designate like angelic terms to describe how their day is going and stuff like that, or how their life is going, or how they want to project into the future, like just all that new age stuff back then. So I really wasn't into angels, because I was also told that, people who get into angels like that, they're kind of like half-baked, and anybody who tells you that, they talk to their angels and their angels talk back and they have this channeling relationship, like, that's not true. And according to the Urantia book, it says that you can talk to the angels, but the angels will not really talk back to you. They just do what they are meant to do. That's their function, is to influence you depending on which angel it is. So, by the way, guys, I'm vaping, so excuse me if I'm vaping and taking a little break. I'm throwing that out there to give you just one little speck of my journey, how what I have come across, how I deal with things, how I look at stuff, how I look at it now versus how I dealt with it back then. Because I have had episodes and I go through phases. There was a time when I really wanted to get to know Lucifer, and thanks to the Urantia book, I'm like, wow, this is. I still feel like I'm in a cliffhanger, though. I want to know more. But yeah, and then I get into the Jesus thing, and then I go against Jesus. I've always been on the fucking hate train of Jesus. The Jesus hate train was always there for years. I had just got off of it. That ride was going nowhere. It was just getting dark. I just felt like I was doing things on my own. Like, fuck everybody, but I need everybody, you know? So um I have struggled with the lone wolf lifestyle mentality or whatever, and it's not necessarily by choice. It's just that in the beginning, when I first got into the Urantia book, I met a lot of seniors, like people like in their 70s, 80s, damn near 90s, and that wasn't fair for me. Coming up as a 19, 20-year old who was struggling with addiction, struggling to find a job, trying to grow up in this world. These people were already like light years ahead of me, like on all levels, or at least that's how I felt. I felt like less than this. I was basically beneath the ground. That's how I really felt. That's how I felt about my self-worth during that time. I'm 38 now, 4 kids, married. I live in a nice little house, not too much. I still live in California, somewhere within the LA County. So I can say that I see shit almost every day, especially when I go to work and I have to deal with a lot of people. I have been a bus driver for like the last like for like the last 8 years. Before that, I've been doing retails and sales and warehouses. So you get the point. Like I've come across so many people, and more do I find myself in a position where I'm like, I feel like I'm by myself. Now I know there's people in the Urantia Book community. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on the Urantia organization on their website. There's probably other platforms that I haven't even reached to, and I'll probably come across the same kind of people over there too. But there's different kinds of people within a community. There's people who just come in different colors, and I don't mean it like in a racial kind of way. Like I mean like you're really gonna meet some different kind of characters. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, nor is it always a good thing, because I had to get into it with some of these people. And I just hate being the one who just feels like I'm being outed out. Now, I totally understand. It could be because of the message, the way I deliver it, the timing, the aggressiveness, the tone. Even if when people look at me and they're trying to give me a chance to kind of explain myself a little bit, so that so that they can see for themselves that I'm not as bad as they might think that I am. It's just, I take in consideration that I have my own struggles, and I had to learn the hard way. Like, okay, well, this is, from now on, I'm gonna have to look in the mirror and see for myself how I come across, so that I know how to change my attitude towards others, around others. So for the last 2 years, I have been doing this thing where now it's actually been a little bit more than 2 years. Actually, I've been doing this for on and off, but I've been doing it more as of lately. I use my phone. I'll record myself trying to send out a message, and a lot of times I spend time talking and recording, and I feel it's always like one of those things where towards the end I'm like, no, I don't think I should put that out. No, 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 I don't think I should put that out. I think that was just more for me, because I felt like recording myself and try to put it out there, knowing that other people are going to be looking at this, whether you're a Urantia book reader or not. It's just the fact that somebody is listening, and it also puts me in a position where, like, I feel like I'm talking to somebody. This could be true if you thought, hey, maybe I could have found somebody within the UB community. But truth be told, I think I need to spend, like, it's my biggest struggle is trying to find somebody who not only would listen to me, but can also relate and recognize the characteristics that I have, and being able to see what, like, just a good friend. I really am looking for a good friend. However, in on the same token, and I hate to admit this even for myself, I'm not that good with friendships. I tend to break away from commitment with other folks, with facilities, people, groups, places. It's just like I cannot be in one place. I cannot talk to the same people from time after time for so many years. Like, I just tend to move on. And I don't know where that comes from. I really don't. I have met so many good people in my life, but I just, maybe because I have too much going on in my mind, too much in my head, where I feel like, fuck, like, I have tried to tell people how I really feel about the whole Jesus situation. I have tried to tell people why I don't agree with certain things here and there. And then I realize, oh fuck, you know what? I'm probably ruining their experience. They probably don't even want to hear this shit. And I had to learn that the hard way too. My disappointments or my frustrations, my grievances, my complaints about how I gather this information, how I apply it in life. You know, when I talk to people about my quote unquote struggles, I could see how it can be overwhelming. I could see how I can come across with so much baggage. And I have made the, I want to say honest mistake. I don't want to beat myself up. I have made an honest mistake to overwhelm others who have been there for me. And now I wonder, like, fuck, like, are they willing to spend another quote unquote 5 minutes with me on the phone? It's not going to be 5 minutes. We're going to be on the phone for like an hour, at least 45 minutes. And the person who takes up most of the conversation is going to be me. It's going to be me. And even when I try my best to switch it around and try to ask the other person open-ended questions, I always have a tendency to override that and talk a little bit more about myself. So yes, I'm taking the time to be a little bit more introspective. I have been praying more, meditating more lately, but I also do have the urge to get on this camera and see if I could put something out that is worthy, especially for somebody who is out there just like me, wandering around, trying to figure out how to go about life, and whether or not you want to make this commitment to go with the UB and walk away from everything else, or you can still hold on to everything and try to see how you can implement the UB in your life without engaging into conflict with other people or with other belief systems, because that has happened a lot with me in the past. I used to be with a church for about 10 years, part of a men's group program. Not program, it was a group. It wasn't really a program. Like, I was forced to get in there. It was a group that I joined a long time ago during my mid-20s. It was a men's group. It worked out fine, well, perfect, beautiful, especially within the first 2 years. They helped me come out of my own skin, and I was seeing more Bible studies, and I was seeing how men talk. So I was just observing things, and little by little, over the years, I was getting into it with somebody. But it was because something would be brought up from the Bible, and you would have an orator, which is basically somebody from the group. It was somebody that we picked from the group that, you know, step up and talk. And here I am. I'm raising my hand, and I'm not necessarily objecting it, but I'm kind of like doing what Jesus did, like kind of see people see the light in a different angle. But just even doing like little things like that was causing some problems. And I honestly did not believe how um, how realistic the tedious, repetitive questions I saw coming from the apostles when they were trying to get this understanding about like what the the kingdom of heaven is. But now I believe it, because when I'm at church, these people will not bend for a little bit to see things just from a different angle. Like, if you have somebody in front of you who is hooked onto the book of Revelations for whatever reason, you cannot change that person's mind. That person thinks that he was selected, or he's self-appointed to crack the fucking Da Vinci Code in a book that's not complete. So it's like, we're gonna be we're working with like a brittle, cut up fucking rope. Like, what more can we get out of this? And needless to say, like, I just wasn't growing in the church anymore, and I've spent a considerable amount of years being a part of a church, and it did hurt me to walk away from it. It was a slow breakup. It was a slow, simmering fucking breakup. And I could relate to what others are going through when it comes to shit like that, Not only that, but when it comes to like anything religious, you're hoping that the person next to you, or your neighbors, or whoever you chance to meet, would give you like this enlightening insight that they may hold just even for themselves, like who's carrying the light with them. And I have come across, again, a lot of nice people, but it's very simple. Like, I like to get into like very enlightening type of talks. Like, I like to gravitate myself towards people who have like just this powerful thinking, even if they're sitting still. Like, if they're thinking of how I can get myself a little closer to God, I want to know that too. Like, I want to know how I can get to the next level. What have you been doing lately? What have you thought? Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So I'm kind of like a kid, and I keep running into adults who are just, not to judge them badly, but it just feels like they're stagnant on the spiritual level. It'll be like 1 out of 1,000 individuals who I would come across, and they'll have something really meaningful to say. And I'm right there, and I'm just right there geeked up, like, wow, this is really good, because I could feel the energy. They say that you will recognize them by their fruits, and thank God I have what I have to listen to people who have spiritual insight. Not a lot of people have that, and so it kind of makes me feel like I'm in the trenches with a bunch of people who are programmed to do this, but I'm wondering how I can make it through alive, I don't know if that was the best analogy. Well, I'm not gonna make this video too long, but yeah, it's about to be the 20-minute mark. So my coping mechanisms nowadays is trying to get on a video, listen to myself first. If I don't like it, if it's not good enough for me to post up, it's just as good, probably even better than me posting this up, because the amount of videos that I record it's fucking 5 to 6, maybe 7 times more than the actual videos that I put up on YouTube or on any social media platform. And the real reason why that is because it's not just like these quote unquote blurbs or the mistakes or the what do you call it, the bloopers or whatever. Like, when someone spills out something, you're already at the 12-minute mark and you're thinking, fuck, man, I got to start all over again. But the reality of it is that I think during that course of time, while I'm pretending that I'm talking to somebody, it actually is helping me release a lot of this stuff that I've been holding on. Just when I thought that I was gonna make a video talking about something that I think might be important to somebody else because it's important to me, it actually turns out even more beneficial to get on what I'm doing right now, anticipate the just create the idea that I'm going to send this out to somebody, and if it's really good enough, I'll send it out. Yeah, but like if it's not, if I feel like I should hold back on this one, at least me recording myself, listening to myself, making that proper judgment is more than enough for me to actually believe that I am looking at myself. I am taking consideration that maybe this isn't the topic. This is not the right message for anybody, but for myself. So my coping mechanism again is to try to relate this information out there for you, and getting on my own camera, recording myself, take notes, and just look at myself, see it's just basically self-evaluation, right? And again, it gives me, it does substitute for not having that one person in front of me, that one person who can relate in real time what I may be going through. Nothing against the other people who I may have mentioned negatively, or even those who have helped me out in the past. Nothing against them. Nothing against them. This is just something that I had to figure out on my own. Took a while, but I'm gonna just leave it off like this. I'm gonna leave it off like this, because I know it went over the 20-minute mark. When the mother of these two apostles, I forgot what the apostles were. I was just reading it the other day too. When the mother walked up to Jesus and she begged Jesus to make sure that her two sons were going to have these honorable positions up in heaven, Jesus talked to the two sons, to the two boys who he knew who they were, and he's been knowing them for so many years. But the thing is that the real question that he had asked them was, are you ready to drink the cup that I'm about to drink? Are you ready? Because, I mean, you guys should never ask me to be like, anyways, but like, that's what reminds me of the time when I finally decided to make the Urantia book my official book. Am I ready to drink that cup? And here I am right now, and I'm still pushing through. So thank you for listening to my video. I hope you gained some knowledge. I hope this make you feel better. You're not alone. Figure out what may help you to get through life. It's not just the Urantia book. You have angels. You have other divine influences around you that want you to do the things that they want you to do. Just trust the process. I'm right there with you. Okay? It seems scary. It seems like you might be fucking up on purpose, but just trust the process. They know exactly what they're doing with you, and you're probably here just to help make some changes. You never know. Just leave it up to God. Peace.